Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we're taking away from the mono white color challenge to make some free-to-play content. This will be a ladder episode. So if you haven't watched my other free-to-play videos, like the horde of which was uploaded from the free-to-play channel on that fateful Friday of spam, CGB spam, then you might not know about how I comprise the free-to-play series, but this is an account that I started in M20. It's completely free-to-play, and the way that it works is we have three types of videos. There's TLC, tuning, ladder, and crafting. And what we're going to be doing today is playing a ladder video, but first of all, I'm going to show off some of the crafting stuff that I've done off-screen on my mono red deck. So once we opened a whole bunch of our Eldraine packs, you saw we got a bunch of cards like Fervent Champion and Rimrock Knight, so I added those to my mono red deck. I crafted some Bone Crusher Giants. I think that they're a very good craft for a red mage because they'll be around for a long time and very strong. And I crafted some Slaying Fires. I think I needed just a couple of these to fill out my deck. And yeah, everything else, the Torbrand came from the mono red deck, the new starter deck that they upgraded with. So you should have one of those in your collection no matter what. And the three Frenzies are left over from the last red deck. So a few changes since the last time you saw this deck, but nothing too severe. I think I also crafted the fourth Scorched Spitter. Big ballin', I know. But anyway, that's where the red deck is right now. The Fervent Champion is a good card, but I don't think that you need to craft them. If you plan to play Knights, which is actually pretty rare heavy because of the lands, you usually end up playing 3-color Knights. If you plan to play that, you might want to get more champions. If you're just mono red, you can replace this with plenty of other cards, which we'll get to in another video. But here right now, we've got the Bone Crusher, the Rimrock, the Steamkin, the Ember Hauler, the Legion Warboss, the Light Up the Stage, the Skewer the Critics, the Slaying Fires. It's all about burning the face with this deck. It's 100% face. It's not particularly great in the meta. The meta is rather dominated by food, which can be sacked for life, but it's a very cheap deck, and I still recommend it as the way to get into Magic the Gathering, even though many people will point out that I don't enjoy playing against mono red. No. I don't enjoy playing against mono red when it's good. It's a very fair deck right now, and actually it's very hard to pull out wins, so it's a real test in some ways. And I know some people are going to laugh at that too. Oh, stupid red, you just point at the face. It's really freaking hard to do that right now, guys. When's the last time you tried it? I know. People say I hate on red all the time, but we're going to try to give it some due respect today. It's not an easy deck to play right now. It's a hard deck to get wins with, and it does test your Magic skills. So let's go hit the ladder and see what happens. Don't think I can keep that. If this were a creature and the Light Up the Stage could get cast, maybe. All right, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. So normally with these types of hands, what do you keep? What do you ditch? I think here we ditch the Scorched Spitter. Turn 1, Champ. Turn 2, Runaway Steamkin. Champ is hard to block, which can turn on a Skewer for the next turn. And we definitely want the Warboss. So you go away. And let's get it going. Smash. Send a message. We will be the ones attacking today. It is a swamp. And a Cauldron Familiar. The cat is here. This can be a very tough match if they draw a Witch's Oven. But I'm definitely going to get out the Steamkin. But first, let's attack with the champion. It has first strike. The opponent won't want to block it. And this, every time the Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, I lose a life, they gain a life. So if this happens too much, it's very bad. And they play a 2/1 lifelink Smitten Swordmaster here and attack with the cat. So this has lifelink. So they're already showing signs that they have plenty of ways to gain life in their deck. It's going to be annoying. And what we're going to do is attack with our Fervent Champion. They can't really block it because of first strike. Then we get to use this Light Up the Stage to start putting counters on our Steamkin and find more land. And it worked. Now, do we skewer the 2/1 lifelinker? I think so. We don't have another burn spell after all, but we want to empty our hand so we can get Frenzy and Legion Warboss onto the battlefield. And every time this gets to attack or block, they gain 2 life, which can make things hard. The opponent cycles Falmir Knight. They pay a life to draw a card. This looks a lot, aside from the Cauldron Familiar, this looks a lot like the Black Adventure Knights deck I got 7 wins with. A 7-0, in fact. Not to be underestimated. Here comes the Legion War Boss. We'll get one more counter on the Steamkin. We'll make a 1-1, we'll smash. Things look like they're going pretty well, and the opponent takes it all, not willing to part with their cat. I suppose that's a good kitty mama, or papa. And we'll make the Experimental Frenzy. This can sit in our hand. We can always sack Frenzy later if we really need to cast the Skewer, but there's not a great Skewer target here. And our opponent goes to Revenge of the Ravens. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So it's kind of an interesting life gainy trap, but I think we'll be okay. Let's fire a Slaying Fire at the face. 4 damage upstairs. We have to attack with this creature. It's only 1-1, so we lose a life and we gain a life. Every time we attack with a 1-1, where we lose a life and we gain a life, we're actually not breaking even. We're giving our opponent the advantage. So we want to attack with this, which will make a 2-2, and this, because, yeah, it's bigger than 1, and this because it's bigger than 1. All right. And these get to stay home. And here comes Revenge of the Raven triggers. Drain me. Here, kitty kitty. Down to 6. Let's see what the opponent can follow up Revenge of the Ravens with. Our Yara, the first of Locthwain. We'll see an Yara Brawl video later today, or maybe it's already up on the channel. Depends on when I decide to post these things. Well, if we attack with the Steamkin here, the Falmir Knight will kill it. However, it's definitely possible to get Spectacle first, which can give us a much better turn. Alright. This might be a mistake. We have to make sure that we attack with enough to get Spectacle. If I attack with this right now, the Ayara will kill it. So I think we're just doing it like this. Our opponent gains 3 life, which is frustrating. We lose 2 creatures, but they're not very useful creatures because Revenge of the Ravens is on the field. As long as this is on the field, our 1/1s don't do anything. So throwing them away to get Spectacle to try to have the biggest and best possible Frenzy turn makes sense to me. So get rid of all these, get a cheap light up the stage, which is going to let us cast more burn spells overall, and the opponent's going to take a little bit of this damage. They decide to save their Falmir Knight. And that makes sense. It's holding back the Steamkin. Alright, now with Spectacle, 1 mana light up the stage. We have a mountain on top, so we definitely play that. And crap! We hit the wall. On the bright side, we can use the Bone Crusher Giant to kill Ayara. Let's go ahead and use mana from the Steamkin so that we can play both sides of Bone Crusher. So here's Bone Crusher, kill Ayara before she can start drawing cards and make us lose too much life. Play other side of Bone Crusher. Pass turn. Here comes second Revenge of the Ravens. Oh my. And with a basic mountain on top, we definitely start there. Oh my. Not good, guys. Not good. So, I'm going to attack with the War Boss because I want to stop making automatic attacks into Revenge of the Ravens 2x. We'll also send the Giant, but I don't want to trade the Steamkin. It's a mana battery with the Frenzy, and I think that's worth it. And you're going to see our life total plummet to a point here where we can't really keep attacking. The opponent might choose to have this War Boss live, and we might have to burn our own War Boss to the ground. Alright. I'll give it one more turn, but I might have to burn my own War Boss so I don't die to this Revenge of the Ravens. Which is Oven. Does the opponent have a creature to sacrifice to get the cat going? I'm dead. I actually am dead. So I made a huge mistake attacking with that War Boss last turn and the Bone Crusher Giant. I should have... I can't just attack with the War Boss because it makes a creature, but it was a big mistake. Yeah, good game. I bamboozled that one. But yeah, they have the ability to make each player lose a life and draw a card. It also didn't help that we hit the mana... Okay. Why? I guess they just want to let the cat do the job by making me do about 5 more clicks. Okay, so be it. Too bad none of these are instant speed and could have helped me. But yeah, I threw that game. Ah. Oh well. Stuff is tough. Magic is hard. I kind of got comfortable like I was definitely going to win that game, and I did not. Too slow. Another mulligan. It's getting a little tilting. But here we go. I can keep that. The opponent's going to take one as well. They're sporting like that. So 1, 2, 3. Seems fine. Let's spit on them. I think these come from the Eldraine pre-order. It's where these sleeves come from. Yeah, let's offer the trade. Okay, they're gonna take it. I'll just put out my 3/1 can't block Rimlock Knight. Why the heck not? Dial up the pressure, as they say, in the foosballs. And our opponent's got the Torch Courier. It looks like they're on the Cavalcade version of the deck. And yeah, we don't do any blocking, so hit me. And a Frenzy, that's what we needed to see. And here comes the Legion War Boss. Let's see if the opponent has a shock right here for the War Boss. No? The trigger goes on the stack, so the creatures are here, and we are attacking for much more than our opponent at this stage. See if we can get them to think some defensive thoughts as they take this smashing down to 12. At least we both have enough land to play plenty of spells. Let's see where it goes from here. Mask of Immolation. That is a 1/1 red elemental they can sacrifice to deal 1 damage to any target. Probably the shiny target right now is the Rimrock Knight. I am stunned. So they want me to block one of these with my War Boss, then they can sacrifice the elemental to kill it. Let's not give them that particular satisfaction. Life is a resource. We're ahead in the race, so taking the damage is fine here. This turn I'm probably playing the Runaway Steamkin. It's really good once you have a Frenzy out, but maybe I'm just supposed to slam the Frenzy. It's hard to say. Let's see what happens when we attack. Both of those things can be after combat. So maybe something will happen in this attack step that will give me an idea. If I target here, I think the opponent will sack the mask to target it, but that's fine, then they don't get to block. So yeah, we'll go with the high reward play of going on to the spitter. We could also add it to a goblin token, but I don't think the opponent's actually going to do this play. I think they need to block here. I think what you'll see them do is step in front of the War Boss, then sacrifice and ping the Knight. If they only trade with the 1/1, I think that's not the best use of their card, but it looks like that's the plan. And they did kind of the same thing I said, except they could have stepped in front of a 2/2. It would have prevented 1 more point of damage, and every point counts, my friends. So this dies to all kinds of things. Let's just go with the Frenzy to try to find burn spells quicker. And we'll see a Mountain at first. I'm really looking for cards like Slaying Fire, cards like Shock, cards like Skewer the Critics. Even an Ember Hauler would be nice. And our opponent has the Chandra, Acolyte of Flame.
Basically anything. Don't worry.
There's some elementals. Here comes some pain. Wow, everybody keeps attacking. This opponent will not cease the aggression. I believe if they attack like that, they leave themselves dead on board when my Legion War Boss creates another 1/1. And maybe that's what they're thinking about right now. John Cena over here. Unmatched aggression. Nope, it's just those 1-1s coming in, which makes Chandra a pretty... I mean, honestly, Chandra, so good when you're ahead, so bad when you're behind. And there is an Ember Hauler for a little extra damage. Pretty much wraps up the game. Unless the opponent's slow rolling a shock or something to kill the war boss, and another one. Let's go to combat. And yep, opponent scoops it up. They will not be able to stop enough damage. The Ember Hauler will finish the job. Two Scorched Spears, 2 Shocks. We're going to have to draw some better cards, but this at least gets us off on the right foot where we can get a bunch of damage in early. Then we need to draw some powerful burn spells and a Legion War Boss or an Experimental Frenzy or a Torbrand to finish the job. Here, Spitter. Game's starting to glitch up on me again. I can't even drag a card out of my hand right now without it, like, slipping. I don't know. Does that happen to you too? You at home? Is it a me and my computer thing? Thornwood Falls, gain a life. Good old Simic colors. Well, we drew Fervent Champion, who has haste, so you can come down. And as you see, we got way ahead on creatures. It doesn't matter what order those triggers are stacked in, so just clicking through that. And yeah, this is 5 damage a turn on the board on turn 2. That's pretty good. Let's see what the opponent can do to match it. They have a tapped Breeding Pool. That's not very good. So right now, they might be Simic Flash. They might be Simic Food. Both can be tough matchups, but when we have a start like this, and our opponent has a start like that, everything feels a little more doable, that's for sure. And you see a Shock and a Slaying Fire. Let's go ahead and end the turn and keep our Shock open. We may or may not have a target given to us when our opponent plays their cards. They're going to have to play something at some point. So we have 10 points of burn in our hand and 5 more damage on the table. If the opponent doesn't interact with us, they will die. So here is a Shock. And here is a Shock. Face is the place. We will never learn what their deck was supposed to do, because it didn't do it before turn 4 when we obliterated them. Yep. Mono red. It can still kill you on turn 4 if you do nothing. And that's gonna rank up out of Bronze 4 into Bronze 3, where the air is rare and the skies are not cloudy all day. Alright, we got a pack, so we can go crack that open here for the audience as we take our free-to-play journey. Give me a good mythic. Give me a good rare, please. Well, we notched another rare wild card. And a giant killer can be nice in our white decks. It's okay. It's fine. Another opt can be good for my blue decks. This card is interesting in the current environment because if the opponent controls a green permanent, it's a 2/3 Death Touch 2 that draws a card when it hits. And that's really good. And there's a lot of green out there. But does that apply to free to play? I'm not sure. Our wildcard stash continues to go pretty well. 35 common, 34 uncommon, 12 rare, 9 mythics. So we're getting stuff going. I have some other fun gameplay, ladder, and crafting videos in mind for you that I'm really excited about. You may have seen some decks in the deck section. Maybe you noticed some of the piles in there. So thank you for watching this video. We smashed our way through Bronze level 4 to the great and amazing Bronze level 3. And next time we come back, we'll be playing a different type of red deck to see if we can get to Bronze level 2. So thank you for watching this episode of the Covert Go Free series. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.